Go ahead, Meredith. Thank you.
Okay, sure. All right, it being 6 o'clock on Monday, September 14th, 2020, let's begin the meeting for the Committee of Ways and Means. All votes will be by roll call, so if you would like to speak, please use the raise hand function. Clerk Semino, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Hey, everybody.
Charlie. Council Baraka.
Here.
Council Ryan.
Here.
Council Connors.
Here.
Council Flaherty.
Here.
Council Sasha.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes for May 13th, 2020. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of May 13th, 2020?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk Semino, roll call, please.
Council Baraka.
Yes.
Council Ryan.
Yes.
Council Connors.
Aye.
Council Flaherty.
Yes.
Council Sasha.
Yes.
All in favor.
Thank you. All right, we have no old business this evening, so we will move on to new business, which is 20058, Mayor. Uh-oh, I have the wrong one, I think, Sue. I'm sorry. Line item transfers.
It is 20058. You have the correct motion.
Request for appropriation, I'm sorry. Braintree Historic Inventory 2020 project or take up any action relative thereto. And there will be a public hearing at the full council tomorrow, September 15th. Is there anyone from the mayor's office who would like to speak on this issue?
I guess that would be me. I'm just telling Derek to get on too. Thank you. So this is a CPA appropriation, and typically every probably 5 years we do a historic inventory of parcels in the community. And what that entails is consultants hired, a historic preservation consultant that goes out, takes a look at the list of sites that we ask them to look at, and they photograph it, and they do an assessment of the exterior of the structure as far as architectural characteristics, or if they do research to determine if there's been someone of historical significance that lived there, and provide some information on it. There's a standard form, that this Form B, that Mass Historical requires communities to do in order that it's included in the state archive materials up at Mass Historical Commission. And so that's the form that they would be working on. And so in this particular case, rather than geographically, Derek Manning, that works in my office, put together a list of this, some of the older properties in town, and he applied for a grant from the Mass Preservation Project Fund, MPPF, and he was awarded $15,000 under that grant. So that program is a reimbursement program. The town needs to front the funds first, and then when the work is completed, the funds are given back to the town. So the cost to the town is really $15,000. And today we did receive the state contract, which are some good news. They modified the original schedule that had 2012 on it, which should have been 2021. But the contract gives us to September 30th, 2021. So inside the contract is milestones that we have to reach, and they bring us all the way through the end of fiscal year 21. So by June of next year, we should be in a good spot. So that's primarily what the request for funding is.
Thank you so much, Director Stickney. Do any members of the council have questions pertaining to this motion? Councilor Ryan.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Christine, I don't, hope I didn't miss this. When's the last time they did this inventory? You said every 5 years. When's the last time they did it?
I want to say it could have been around 2012. I think that might have been where the typo came when we did it before. At that time, we didn't succeed in getting the grant, but we did a small area up in around Braintree Square, over Elm Street, by Old Souls Church, down to St. Thomas More, and then back again over the highway and picked up all the way down to the Union School, almost just shy of Hollis. We did that whole area. So every structure in our map that we provide the consultant was included.
And so, through the chair, you're saying that we go through parts of the town. Have we been through the entire town once, twice?
No, and of course, different, Mass Historical has changed some things. Many years ago, we did have a historic resource book put together of certain parts of the town, but it didn't meet the requirements of Mass Historical. So we've been able to use some of that information to supplement what we're doing now, but we're trying again to go back and get the, start with the oldest parts of town. So it was thought that with the Historic Commission, why not start with what we know are the oldest historic structures? And that was the list that we provided, that we're aware of. There may be others out there.
Thank you.
Counselor Sasha?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Director Stickney, I just wanted to say thank you. I think I've never seen this list of historic houses, and I'm just dying to go visit them all and see what house they are. I mean, I think it's great that the town is being thorough, and I love that the CPC always comes already having done the work to get the matching funds from the state. So I think this is great, and I hope everyone will support it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Sasha. I want to give credit where it's due, and Derek Manning was really the one that put the materials together and submitted the application, but we were very proud that he got the grant.
Great. Counselor Flaherty?
So I agree with Counselor Sasha that I think it would be so fun to do a driving tour of these homes. But at any rate, I wanted to ask how you arrive at an estimate, like a per home cost estimate. You came to something like $270 per home. And I'm just curious, like how you arrive at that. And do you have a contractor who's agreed to that cost in mind?
No, we'd have to put it out, anything over 10,000, we have to at least solicit bids for it. The cost per unit, there'll be some structures that will require more research and more time, and then there'll be some that just won't meet the thresholds of certain things. But we based it on our last time going out and looking at what it came out to be in total. We put that one out to bid, we got an estimate, and then we went to CPC and asked for the funding. So it could be a situation that the price may come in higher than what we expected. But the good part about these structures is there's quite a bit of information in our files and quite a bit of information over at the Braintree Historical Society that the consultant can use.
Okay, so through the chair, it sounds, so you have a set amount of money that can be spent on this, and you already know that some homes cost more than others, and you already know that you have some information about some of the homes and maybe less about others. So do you have a prioritized list about how you would approach these homes in order so that you would get the most information for the amount of money that we have to spend?
I mean, they're typically done geographically. You saw we put the list together by streets to do, but it's only the exterior that's done on the homes, and we don't go inside a home and look at that. So typically they'll try to do the Form Bs in a geographical area. So they'll try to have like all of Middle Street put together, because then they get a number assigned by Mass Historical once they go up there. but, you know, I don't know exactly what Derek did, but I could, you know, we provided a list of those structures. I know that probably doesn't answer you exactly what you had in mind, but it's gonna all depend really what we get in on bids. There's not too many people out there that do historic preservation consultants. There's a handful of folks.
Can you prioritize the homes? Do you have the information that you need to be able to create a prioritized list?
Well, some of them have already been given some numbers, so I guess, you know, they'll probably start, the way he put it together, appears to be some of the, by the dates, so. Is there something in particular that you're really concerned about to make sure that we get it covered, or?
No, not really.
just-
I just, we have, it sounds like you've got some information on some of the homes, but not all of them. And it sounds like you're not totally sure how much money if we're gonna be able to get to the whole list. So I thought it seemed smart to me to prioritize it, but I couldn't tell you the criteria around which they should be prioritized. It just struck me that it would be wise to come up with the ones that need the most attention and have those addressed first, because they're all in Braintree. So the amount of driving around, I mean, I can see how, like, once you've got one done on Middle Street, maybe you don't want to go over to Liberty Street, but maybe the value of getting the most needed information first outweighs the time consumed by driving around to homes rather than tackling them in geographic order.
Mhm.
That's all. I think it's a great initiative, and I'm definitely going to support it.
Okay.
Counselor Connors?
So I just want to say, I totally agree with Counselor Sasha and Flaherty. It is a great thing we're doing here to document the historics, and I want to be included on the tour.
Okay, we can arrange that.
I have one question, Director Stickney. So this is set to be complete, you said by September of 2021?
Well, that's the contract end date, but really it's more
Okay.
in June of 2021. But they always give us
Okay,
some
and
buffer
then-
time in case, you know, something's gone awry.
Okay, and then once the inventory is complete, so if my house is not on the list, but if it were, how would the public access this information? How would they be able to see what the result of the findings were?
Sure. We keep them in order in our office. They're always available when we're open. And there's been talk about getting them on the website. There's some issues we need to work with legal department about, you know, because they are residents' homes. We haven't jumped on that right away. We want to explore some things. But the other is Mass Historical has a website called MACRIS. It's MACRIS. And you can query it by town and then query it right down by street, or query it if you know a particular address. And if they have a Form B,
Okay,
it will immediately come up. And it's not just residents, it's businesses and other structures like barns and things. If they've ever had a Form B done, it's there if it's met the, you know, criteria of Mass Historical.
excellent, thank you. And I think it is also a great initiative. Looking forward to it. Any other questions from the counselors? Okay, seeing none. Do we have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chairwoman, motion that in accordance with the provisions of Chapter 44B of the general laws and with the recommendation of the Community Preservation Committee, the appropriation of $30,000 from the CPA Historic Resource Fund for the Braintree Historic Inventory 2020 project conditional on the funds expended under the Community Preservation Committee and the Director of Planning and Community Development. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Clerk Semino, roll call vote, please.
Counselor Berica,
Yes.
Counselor Ryan,
Aye.
Counselor Connors,
Aye.
Counselor Flaherty,
Yes.
Counselor Sasha.
Yes.
That's 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, committee. And if it helps, I can send Sue a sample of one of the Form Bs that we did in the last round, so you can kind of see what goes into it. I meant to get that, so my
Please.
apologies, but we'll have it available.
That would
for
be
the
great.
meeting. Okay, thank you very much.
Dr. Thank you. Okay. This could be a record for the Ways and Means Committee in 2020. That is the only item on the agenda this evening. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Clerk Semino, roll call vote, please.
Council Barica,
Yes.
Council Ryan,
Yes.
Council Connors,
Aye.
Council Flaherty,
Yes.
Council Sasha,
Yes.
all in favor.
Good night, everybody.
Thank
Good
you
night.
so much. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.
Good night.